Welcome to English Stories for Listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you genuinely want to be fluent in English.
My name is Emily. I want to tell you a story about how I learned English. When I was a child, I did not know many English words. I only knew a few, like hello and goodbye. But I wanted to learn more. I wanted to speak English like the people I saw on TV. They spoke so beautifully. Their words flowed like music. I dreamed of speaking like them one day. One day I decided to start learning. I asked my teacher for help. She smiled and gave me a book. It was a small book with simple words. She told me to read it every day. Emily, she said, if you read every day you will learn new words, so I read the book. I read it slowly, trying to understand each word. At first it was hard. Some words were new, and I did not know their meanings. But I did not give up. I remember one day when I learned the word hope. It was a simple word, but it had a big meaning. My teacher said, "Hope is something you hold in your heart. It helps you keep going. Even when things are hard, I held on to that word. Every time I felt like giving up, I remembered the word hope." As I continued reading, I learned more words. Words like love, dream, and kindness. Each word was like a little treasure. I kept them in my mind, repeating them often. I also started to listen to English songs. The music helped me remember the words better. Sometimes I would sing along, even if I did not know all the words. The rhythm and melody made the words stick in my memory. My teacher also told me, "Emily, practice makes perfect," so I practiced every day. I spoke English with my friends, even if I made mistakes. I knew that mistakes were part of learning. Each mistake taught me something new. One day I made a funny mistake. I wanted to say, "I am full," but instead I said, "I am full." My friends laughed, and so did I. It was a small mistake, but it taught me the right word. From that day, I never forgot how to say, "I am full." Learning English was not always easy. There were times when I felt frustrated, but I remembered the word hope and kept going. I knew that with time and practice, I would get better. I also learned to be patient with myself. Learning a new language takes time, and it's okay to go slow. As I learned more English, I started to write in a journal. Each day I wrote a few sentences about my day. At first my sentences were simple, but as I learned more, my writing improved. I could express my thoughts and feelings better. Writing in English helped me think in English. It made the language a part of my daily life. I also started to watch English movies. Watching movies helped me hear how native speakers talk. I learned new phrases and expressions. Sometimes I would pause the movie and repeat a line. It was like having a conversation with the actors. This practice helped me improve my pronunciation and listening skills. My journey to learn English was full of small steps. Each day I learned something new. Sometimes it was a new word. Other times it was a new way to say something. But every step brought me closer to my goal. I want to share some tips that helped me on my journey. First, always keep a dictionary with you. Whenever you find a new word, Look it up, write it down, and try to use it in a sentence. This will help you remember it. Second, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are your best teachers. Each time you make a mistake, you learn something new. So speak freely, even if you're not sure of the words. The more you practice, the better you will get. Third, find a friend to practice with. Speaking with someone else makes learning fun. You can help each other and learn together. My friend and I used to play a game where we would take turns saying a new word. It was a fun way to learn and remember new vocabulary. Fourth, listen to English every day. Whether it's a song, a podcast, or a movie, listening helps you get used to the language. It trains your ear to understand different accents and speeds. Over time, you will find it easier to understand spoken English. Fifth, write as much as you can. Writing helps you organize your thoughts in English. It also helps you practice the new words and phrases you learn. Start with a simple diary. Write a few lines about your day, your thoughts, or your dreams. As you get better, you can write longer stories. I remember a quote that always inspired me: the more you practice, the more you learn. This quote stayed with me throughout my journey. It reminded me that learning is a process and every bit of effort counts. Let me share a memory with you. One day, I was in a store, and the shopkeeper spoke to me in English. I was nervous but excited. I answered him in English, and he understood me. It was a small moment, but it made me so happy. I realized that all my practice was paying off. I was really learning English. As time passed, I became more confident in speaking English. I could hold conversations, read books, and write stories. English became a part of my life. It opened new doors for me. I could connect with people from different countries and learn about their cultures. Learning English changed my life. It gave me new opportunities and made me more confident. I want to encourage you to keep learning, no matter where you are in your journey. Remember that every step counts. Each new word, each sentence you write, brings you closer to fluency. So, keep reading, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep writing. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You can do it. I believe in you. Let me leave you with a thought. Language is the bridge that connects us to the world. Learning English is not just about words. It's about opening your heart and mind to new experiences. It's about connecting with people, sharing ideas, and understanding different perspectives. As you continue your journey, remember that every word you learn is a step closer to your dreams. Keep going and don't give up. You have the power to learn and grow. You are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And remember, this is just the beginning. Your journey to learn English will be full of wonderful moments, challenges, and successes. Embrace every moment and enjoy the process. You are on your way to becoming fluent in English, and I am proud of you. I continued to learn English every day. Each day was a new adventure. I woke up excited to discover new words, phrases, and ways to express myself. I remember one morning, I came across the word courage. It was in a story about a young boy who faced his fears. I asked my teacher what it meant, and she told me. Courage is when you do something, even if you are afraid. That word stayed with me. It reminded me to be brave in my journey to learn English. I wanted to speak English with courage, even when I felt unsure. So I began to speak more in class. At first, my sentences were short and simple. I would say things like, "I like this book," or "The weather is nice today," but as I practiced, I started to say more. I talked about my thoughts, my feelings, and my dreams. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. One day, I gave a short speech in front of my class. I was nervous, but I remembered the word courage. I stood up and spoke about my favorite book. My voice trembled a little, but I kept going. When I finished, my teacher smiled and said, "Well done, Emily." That moment made me realize that speaking English is not just about knowing the words. It's about having the courage to use them. As I continued my journey, I learned another important word: patience. Learning a language takes time, and it's easy to get frustrated when things don't go as fast as you want. But I learned that patience is key. I remember a quote my teacher shared with me: "Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting." This quote helped me stay calm and positive when I faced challenges. I practiced patience every day. When I struggled with a difficult word or phrase, I reminded myself that it's okay to take my time. I learned to break down difficult tasks into smaller steps. If I couldn't understand a long sentence, I would focus on understanding each word first. Slowly, I pieced the sentence together and the meaning became clear. Each small success gave me the strength to keep going. During this time, I also discovered the importance of consistency. My teacher often said, "Learning a little every day is better than learning a lot once a week." So I made a habit of studying English every day. Even on days when I was busy or tired, I made sure to do something small, like reading a few lines or listening to a short podcast. This daily practice kept English fresh in my mind and helped me improve steadily. One day, I was listening to a podcast about travel. The speaker used the word wanderlust. I was curious, so I looked it up. It means a strong desire to travel. I loved that word. It made me think of all the places I wanted to visit and the people I wanted to meet. Learning new words like wanderlust made English exciting and fun. I also learned that curiosity is a powerful tool. Whenever I heard or saw something I didn't understand, I asked questions. I looked up words in the dictionary, asked my teacher for explanations, and searched for answers online. My curiosity helped me discover new things and deepened my understanding of English. I remember a time when I was watching a movie, and the characters used a lot of idioms. I didn't understand them at first, but I was curious. So I wrote down the idioms and asked my teacher about them. She explained that idioms are phrases with meanings that are different from the literal meanings of the words. For example, break the ice means to start a conversation. Learning idioms was like discovering hidden treasures in the language. They made English more colorful and interesting. As I continued learning, I started to think in English. At first, I had to translate my thoughts from my native language to English, but with time and practice, English became more natural. I started to dream in English, and sometimes I even talked to myself in English when I was alone. This helped me practice and improve my fluency. One of the most beautiful moments in my journey was when I began to understand humor in English. Humor is a big part of language. And understanding jokes and funny stories made me feel more connected to the language. I remember the first time I laughed at a joke in English. It was a simple joke, but it made me feel like I was becoming a part of the English-speaking world. Another important part of my journey was learning to express emotions in English. Words like joy, sorrow, anger, and gratitude helped me communicate how I felt. I started to write poems in English, expressing my emotions through simple words. Writing helped me connect with my feelings and share them with others. My teacher once told me, "Language is the key to the heart." This means that when you learn a language, you can connect with people on a deeper level. I experienced this when I made friends with people who spoke English. We shared stories, laughed together, and supported each other. English became the bridge that connected us. As I continued my journey, I also learned about culture. Language and culture are closely linked, and learning English gave me a window into the cultures of English-speaking countries. I learned about their traditions, holidays, and ways of life. This made me appreciate the richness and diversity of the world. One day, I was invited to an English-speaking event. People from different countries were there, and we all spoke English. It was amazing to see how language brought us together. We shared our cultures, experiences, and ideas. I realized that English is more than just a language, it's a way to connect with the world. As I reflect on my journey, I realize how far I have come. From a little girl who knew only a few words, I have grown into someone who can speak, read, write, and understand English. This journey has been full of challenges, but also full of joy. Each new word, each conversation, and each story has added to my knowledge and confidence. I want to share one last tip with you. Never stop learning. Language is like a river that flows continuously.